Hello, everyone. I'm Judge Penny Wolfgang, and welcome to The Big Picture. As the summer of 2021 continues with lifted restrictions, more and more hometown events are coming back, including the Buffalo Broadcasters Hall of Fame Gala. I'm co-chairman of the Broadcasters Award Ceremony this year and co-hosted the recent news conference at the Buffalo History Museum, where some of the best in the business found out that they will be inducted. We're excited to talk to one of the Hall of Fame winners, who is a very dear friend of everybody in the media community and a very, very good old friend of mine, I will say. Mickey, how excited are you for this honor?
I am just thrilled beyond belief. It's just such an honor, especially, with the different awards over the years that I've won. This is just so much more meaningful because it's my peers, it's the people that I work with, it's friends and colleagues, it's people that I've admired for years. So to be included with them is truly an honor.
You've had such a varied career and so different from people that are, I don't want to say just in the media, but that have been in the media period, with your legal career and with all of the stories that you've covered in so many ways. What stands out in your mind? Maybe I'll give you two choices.
Well, just thinking about things, we've all seen the movie Forrest Gump, and he's been in all of these iconic moments in our history. And I feel like I've had the privilege of actually covering so many of those iconic moments in Buffalo's history for the past close to 50 years now.
And in so many different capacities, because you've not just been a photojournalist, but you have, an attorney, and you've been an interviewer. And so I feel like you are like a Renaissance man. Is that how you think of yourself?
No, I feel like, when I worked at the newspaper, when I worked at the television station, I basically felt like I never worked a day in my life, because it's like, you're paying me to do this? I'm just thrilled to be able to do it. And now as an attorney working on behalf of journalists in support of the First Amendment, it's really my way of giving back to all of those people who are now out on the streets covering things that are so important in this day and age, so that people can be informed. I think, one of the things people forget about is that the First Amendment says freedom of the press, but really it's there because it's the right of the public to be informed, to have an informed electorate. And if people don't know what it is their government's doing, it's not going to matter much. So I think it's just so important to have and uphold that freedom.
That is such an important, as you pointed out, aspect of your career, and so different. And here you are. You must be not only proud or excited to have your family here, who I know are out of town.
Right.
Does that make it more special for you?
It does. It's so hard to believe that I have a granddaughter who's 6 going on 16. How old are you? You're 6. And I think she's going to be a lawyer, too. She's always negotiating, and having my son with me, who I'm so proud of, who's a major in the Air Force, and in service to his country, and so many young men and women who do that. I end every talk that I do, whether I'm training journalists or police, with the fact that I'm so passionate about the Constitution because of the young men and women like him that go in harm's way.
And we want to thank you for your service, and we want to thank you, and we look forward to the big event when we will learn more about you at the Hall of Fame Awards. Thanks, Mickey.
Such a thrill.
Thanks.
Thank you, Penny.
Let me ask you how your career has progressed to come to this point of being a member of the Hall of Fame.
You know what? I'm just grateful. I was surrounded by incredible people that were willing to take a shot on like teaching and helping me along the way. And it really, while I'm grateful for the award, it really was everyone around me that is part of this.
Tell me a little bit about how you feel, which you have been, a role model for women in the media.
Well, I think I like to think about things not as male or female, but one. Sometimes that's not the case, though, in certain situations. And I think everybody has the ability to go as far and do as much as they want. At the end of the day, we control our own destiny. And quite frankly, I think that it's just important to, if you have a dream, pursue it, and don't let anybody stand in your way.
How did you get from one place to another in your career, which has been, as we said, like behind the scenes in broadcasting most of the time, which people don't even think of a lot of times as a career?
Well, I wanted to get into the management side of things. I started out on the air, and at the end of the day, Penny, it comes down to hard work, and you give up a lot, but at the end of the day, if you love what you do, it's not really work. So I'm just grateful. I've worked with great companies like Beasley Media Group, which is run by Caroline Beasley, our CEO, and she's a great role model for all of us in our company. And I just, I think it comes down to hard work, and it's that Buffalo work ethic, quite frankly.
And I know we're trying not to be sexist about this, but women in management is still pretty new. You were kind of like in the forefront of that.
Well, I think there were a lot of women trailblazers before me, but I think that a lot of opportunities have started to open up for women, which is really great. It's great to see, you're a great example of that. So, I think it's just great, and I think the future is bright for women in the industry.
What about radio? What do you think about the future of radio?
I think the future of radio is bright, quite frankly. I think there's more opportunities now than ever before to listen to your favorite radio station, whether you're listening online, whether you're listening on your phone. I listen to our stations from across the country. I'm in Naples, and I listen to them online when I'm working. I listen to Philadelphia. I listen to Boston. So I think with the multi-platform abilities that we have today in the industry, it's never been better.
There'll always be a radio.
Absolutely.
Of one kind or another.
Absolutely, and I think that the way that the information and the music is, disseminated, you still can listen to it on your car radio. You can listen to it at home on your computer. Alexa. It's never been better, quite frankly.
Satellite. There are a lot of choices.
There's a lot of
There's a
different
lot
options.
of choices.
Yeah.
And how does it feel to be home and honored? We pointed out that you're like hometown girl makes good. How does it feel that you're being honored here in your hometown?
It means everything to me. My family's all here. I love Buffalo. I will always love Buffalo, and I'm a Buffalo girl at heart. I come home as much as I can. And to be here, and my family was a big part of the reason why I'm here today. So I am so grateful, and I can't wait for them to come in November and be there, because quite frankly, this award is theirs.
Congratulations, Al. I feel it was a long time coming because you have done so much in this market and made such an impact for such a long time. What does it mean to you being inducted in the Hall of Fame?
Well, it's a very humbling experience because of all the fantastic folks that I'm here in this room with that have done so much for the community, done so much for broadcasting. And, after 26 years in broadcasting here in Buffalo, to be recognized by my peers for the work, the education that we try to provide to the community. And I also loved covering the courts, Your Honor, and I will say that I was once in court and she was the judge and I was a defendant, and she handled it with aplomb.
I was not going to say that. If you didn't say it, I was going to say it. But speaking of courts, I always felt, and my colleagues as well, that when you were covering a story, whether it be courts or consumer, you did so much research and you always knew what you were talking about, what the situation was, or what the law that applied was. That's part of your persona, I think.
Well, that comes from years of experience and years of studying these different cases. I mean, when you've been in broadcasting, I've been in broadcasting for over 40 years, and you just learn things from that. And fortunately, I've been able to remember a lot of that. And you go in there and you have a pretty good idea what the issues are. It's just a matter of kind of narrowing things down and getting them to apply to different situations. So in a way, I've really been fortunate.
But also, the niche that you have chosen is very important and unique, which is probably why we're honoring you today, because you have helped so many people. How does it feel to be somebody who people turn to for help when they don't know where else to go?
Well, a lot of times it can be overwhelming, because you do have to do a lot of research and you got to know the people to talk to. But when I know that I've resolved the case and I tell that story and thousands of people out there know, if that ever happens to me, I know what to do. And it's not necessarily to call for action, but I know to call, a building inspector, or I know to contact my elected official because they can help me. That's where the rewards come from.
Also, you're probably a living example of the power of the media in this regard.
Oh yeah, it's like having your own megaphone. Yeah, this is what you got to do. This is what can happen to you, and it's a megaphone that reaches thousands of people every day.
Well, I know it's been very rewarding, and we are really looking forward to the big day and to your induction in the Hall of Fame. And thank you so much for talking to us, Al.
Thank you, Judge. It's an honor.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
When we come back, meet more of Buffalo's best broadcasters and find out how the work of the BBA is preserving history.